Good,
mate.
good, man. Good. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You're looking well. You're looking strong.
It's always brilliant when we start before we start. But no, it's good to see you, lads. It's good to see us. It's been a minute for yourself, Peter, and then Stephen,
Yeah.
man. It's been fucking a while as well. Last time we had
Yeah,
it was Chris.
Yes, it's hard to fucking nail us down. Do you know what I mean? We're going this way, we're going that way. Family commitments and everything. Do you know what I mean? Cats and vegetables and
We'd
Do you
be doing
know what I
things
mean?
where we've lots of plans, but it's to try and get us to actually get round to them is the trouble.
yeah.
Like everyone.
That's life. Sure. Last time we spoke, you just got the when you did that run around Mayo. It's
Oh, I
been
can't
a while
believe it.
now.
I can't believe it's that long ago. That was last September
That was last September.
or October.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We
was a
just
brilliant bit of
done
work,
it.
lads.
We just done the run, or we were going to do it, was it?
You done it.
Oh, we done it.
So it must
Okay.
have been October. So
Must have been October. Yeah.
The
Wow.
cowboy here was just saying he was ready to go on the next one.
Yeah, he still is. He still
I
is.
was even on about it today.
He was out about today. He's keen to do another challenge, so he is. But we were running around the pitch today. My knee is a bit bad, so I can only run on soft surfaces now, like grass. But I was saying that we could do a challenge where we run backwards.
For a
He was,
marathon.
and he was like, "What do you mean run backwards?" And I was like, "Yeah, walk or run backwards."
So we went about 800 meters backwards, and
yeah,
it was all right, I suppose. You get used to it.
yeah, it's tricky. Have you ever tried running backwards? It's actually quite tricky for a distance. It's good physio. It's good physio for the knees and
I'm
everything.
sure it is. It's something unique there anyway.
And then we're doing some sprints as well. Pete's very powerful legs.
So I'm trying to get into sprints
You've got very powerful legs.
I've got very gorgeous legs.
Fair
Show
play
you
to
my legs. They're gorgeous.
Sound, man. Sound. Would you reckon that's from the old jiu-jitsu?
Possibly, maybe the jiu-jitsu,
And
surfing, jiu-jitsu, running. I suppose I did a lot of Gaelic when I was younger, Gaelic football. Do you know what I mean? When I was younger, and the guy is always in the blood, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I have a powerful third leg.
He's an
Fair
awful.
play
His
to you.
middle
Fair play
leg.
to you.
His middle leg is massive. So
Yeah, I'm sure. Fair play to you.
yeah.
So when we last had a chat, fucking dead hedgehogs wasn't even a thing yet. So what's the story going on there? You've had all sorts on.
Yes.
It's the one we're probably most proud of, our platforms, but it's the one that's the hardest to try and build, I suppose.
Yeah, it's hard to build YouTube. It's hard to build followers on YouTube.
YouTube. So we really want to. We've sort of like naturally we've sort of had a season 1, and now we want to get back into season 2 of doing podcasts.
Yeah.
We've done a few bit of sketches that are just for patrons only on the Dead Hedgehogs.
And we got some beautiful Patreons. Yeah, they're very loyal.
Yeah, very
great fun, and they're really enjoying the content. And we had an addiction counselor on the other day.
That's right.
And it was very interesting because we were doing the Agony's Uncle, which for anybody who doesn't know, it was like we were set up this Agony Uncles thing, where was people rang in for relationship advice.
Yeah, or text or whatever.
Or text or relationship advice, and there was one lad that didn't know how to flush the toilet. So Chris gave him an awful bollocking.
That was the lighter side of it.
Yeah, I've read
he didn't know how to flush the toilet. But then there was people talking in. Will we go this way? Seriously, then there was people talking in with serious problems, real serious problems, like people addicted to cocaine and drugs and fucking everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because drugs. Cocaine is not a drug.
Yeah.
But abuse and everything. So then we said we better get a professional on. So we got a professional on, and we what was it now? 2 hours nearly, was it?
Yeah, we did a great chat with him, and he was an addiction counselor now.
Yeah.
So we got chatting to him. So that's actually going up to this evening.
This evening, yeah.
For our patrons.
And it was good. I learned a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I should put you on to Rob Kelly. I should put you on to Rob Kelly. He was a lad we had on. He did the same kind of stuff. But then he told us long elaborate story of how he ended up treating Robert Downey Jr. when he was in the muck.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
Wow. Jesus Christ. And
it's weird with the old addiction. It can affect fucking anyone.
Oh, 100%. Same as depression. Same as depression. And it shouldn't be stigmatized. Stigmatized? Is that a word?
I think so, yeah.
Stigmatized?
It's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Stigmatized.
Stigmatized. It shouldn't
Funny
be
old world.
but the thing about this addiction counselor was the main thing from it was if you don't want to help yourself, there's no, like, you need to get to the stage where you know that you need help yourself.
Yes.
That's one of the main things that I took from the podcast.
Yeah, and one of the things as well, there wasn't many services for women. There's a lot of services for
more
men.
services for men than women.
Yeah.
In it. So
in the whole of Ireland, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, because
I'd wonder about that. Would like men be more affected by addiction than women, or is it just?
It's not. Maybe we are, or maybe men are, but the fact of the matter is that women have kids. And they're the sole
provider for the kids.
Sole provider for the kids in a lot of cases. So there's no facilities in the country for mothers with addiction, more so than just women itself.
Well, I thought that was shocking. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't many. So maybe down the line we could do some fundraising for that or something.
It'd be good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one to do.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. You just never think of it like.
Well, that's it. It's exactly what I said. You just never.
Maybe it's something traditionally men were the first ones to be. I don't know, Sea Kelper, the first ones to be.
Maybe we're the loudest about it.
Maybe the loudest, or maybe they're the ones that get in the most trouble or something.
Yeah.
Most versatile. I don't know, but it's crazy that there's no help out there for women as much. He said as women as men. But
we've had all types on, no more than yourself. Sports people, comedians, politicians. So we want to go down that route again. Hopefully, we've Keelan Dara's coming up. The Irish rugby player. We have a flat earther coming up. So
is his name David Weiss?
He was on your podcast.
Yes.
He was on your podcast as well, was he?
He's gone around doing the circuit calling us the Angry Irish Podcast.
Okay.
Why is he calling you the Angry Irish Podcast? What happened?
Okay, so normally he does his thing. He goes around does these podcasts, yeah.
Yeah.
And then normally he just puts nothing up after, never promotes them or whatever. He got really pissed off at myself and Thomas because we didn't give him an inch, like.
Okay.
Because he went on saying like there's no such thing as dinosaurs, like it's all whale bones in the mountains, and we talked to like loads of people who are scientists or are paleontologists, and it's like, okay, hold on now, buddy. But we caught him there, and he made a clip of it himself, dodgy editing, but he put it up. It got us loads of views in the end, like, but yeah, he wasn't happy with us. So he did some other Irish ones and called us the Angry Irish Podcast.
If he wasn't happy with you, he definitely won't be happy with us.
Yeah. No, but we'll take him on and hear a spiel. You know what I mean? Like, anybody's open to come on to the podcast.
Of course. The thing is,
and we'll have a bit of crack with it. Like, do you know what I mean? It would, like, even if he believes the world is flat, doesn't mean he can't have the crack. Like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
But we're also entitled to
disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain things that Cowboy believes in that I don't believe in, and certain things that I believe in that he doesn't believe in. That doesn't mean he's not a bollocks.
But I'll just give you an example now because my blood is up since this morning.
Why? What we at?
You know, Pete. Like I put up. I've been making these videos, and they're anti-lockdown videos. But there's been a certain cohort, a small minority that have latched onto my videos and promoting them as anti-vax videos, which they're not. They're anti-lockdown.
I've seen them, yeah.
Okay. And I've explained this in so many fucking podcasts. I've been on the radio explaining this. Like, they're not anti-vax, they're anti-lockdown. And first and foremost, they're a bit of fucking crack.
Yeah, and they're not to be taken too seriously.
They're not to be taken seriously. They're my opinion. And you can either agree with them or disagree with them. But the first and initial reason for them is to be funny or to have some sort of joke in it. And yes, might be a message thrown in there as well, but it is anti-lockdown, and it's basically they're trying to give a bit of crack in these times. So we put up a post on 3 Bucks Left Facebook, just to Facebook, and first of all, it was a joke. It was like this. Best of luck to all the pubs, bars, and restaurants who are opening today. I plan to visit each and every one of you in the coming week, which is impossible to fucking do, right?
Yeah, of course.
Which is impossible to do.
And what was the problem with that?
It was a joke, but 5 or 6 anti-vaxxers were like, "Oh, you can't be supporting these pubs and restaurants because for them to open, they have to be, look for the vaccine cert and all this sort of crap."
Yeah.
Right. It was first of all, it was jokes. Secondly, it was actually to wish luck to the bars and restaurants, and that's fine. But for some reason, and I don't usually do it, I don't usually reply.
And you replied to
these. But there was 2 of them, and it seemed to me like they were agreeing with themselves. Do you know what I mean? And they were back and forth with themselves. And I got into a thread. I got into an argument with them, and I eventually said, "Listen," I said, "if you're feel that strongly about it," I said, "let's have a podcast." So I've talked myself into a podcast with these. How would it go? I do not know.
Why are you giving them a platform? You shouldn't be bothered with them.
Because I know I shouldn't, but my blood got up. But like it really was. I just caught me on the wrong side.
Has that happened to you? Has that happened? The same thing. Have you replied to negative comments? Have you got many negative comments, or have you got into like a back and forth with people?
The only time we've had that is with Flat Earth, and the video did so well that like even this morning I'm waking up the comments on that video. So
yeah,
you know yourself.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. You know what I mean?
That's what they say. But you know yourself.
Unless you're Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, that's a dodgy bit there.
It won't bother him too much anymore.
Well,
but I actually, this phone is resting on a big Oscar Wilde book.
Yeah.
And it was him that said the worst thing about being talked about is not being talked about. And
yeah.
I suppose,
so listen, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And listen, he's just playing the game. He's publicizing himself, and he's publicizing you. So, at least it's probably good viewing. Do you know what I mean? Chris was telling me that he watched your podcast and he said it was good viewing. He said he had his answers and he was just going like, I didn't watch it now to tell the truth, but he said he was quite dogmatic with just saying things, and then he was bombarding you with like you'd mention something and then he'd come up with something else. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing about it all is there is no harm in having a different opinion to someone. But don't get upset and don't lose the rag when your opinion isn't the same as someone else's. Everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Of course.
Everyone is entitled to take the vaccine. Everyone is entitled not to take the vaccine.
100%.
Yeah. If you don't want to take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. The only thing about it is you won't be let into the pubs, and that's just the way it is.
You can't leave the country.
And you can't leave the country. If I didn't want to take the vaccine, I have to know in my heart and soul that that's the way it is. Now, unless you go into maybe the west of Ireland, you get into some places that they won't be looking for the vaccine, and that's their choice. They take the chance of getting caught by letting people in, and there's no point in me saying that won't go on, because it will.
Yeah, and there's no reason why you shouldn't question the vaccine either.
Yeah,
you can question.
I'd love to live in a society that we didn't need any vaccines.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm not promoting the vaccine. I'm also not promoting not taking the vaccine.
Yeah,
I basically, we were just having the crack. I got into this thing that
you're working for Pfizer though, aren't you? You used to have a lot of blue pills back in the day.
Still do. One in the morning, one in the
But there's some crazy conspiracy theories out there, and listen, people are just worried. People are just afraid, and that's human nature to be afraid. You know what I mean? And it's okay, and you don't have to take the vaccine, and it is in some ways experimental. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like we were on, just for example, we were mentioning Martin Maloney there before we started recording. Like Martin is completely anti-vax, but yet he's one of our best friends.
Yeah,
and we're not going to go, "Oh, Martin, we can't talk to you anymore because you're anti-vax."
Yeah.
Or I'm pro-vax, or not pro.
You can agree to disagree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, to be honest, lads, watching Martin's streams recently, and he'd be going on that stuff. It's actually pretty funny. I love it.
He's a very funny guy. Like, he's one of the funniest people I know.
Very.
He's a genius.
I'm going out to him in less than 2 weeks, and we're going filming for 10 days.
That's cool. Yeah.
Very funny guy.
He's got a good thing going on at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, he's very funny.
But Martin has to realize as well that if I hadn't taken the vaccine,
I wouldn't be allowed to go.
I wouldn't be able to go to him. So I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it.
There you go. What did you just get in the end?
Pardon?
What did you get in the end? Like
Pfizer. Pfizer.
AstraZeneca.
Pfizer. Yeah.
Yeah. And the 2 jabs, yeah.
Or two jabs, yeah.
You got 3 jabs.
I got 3 jabs because the first one I got it took so long for me to get that they had got AstraZeneca came in after that, so I ended up having to go on the AstraZeneca dose then.
Yeah. So
I had to go down to the limit 3 times first because I also work in
the hospital.
In the hospital, I fumigate rooms in hospitals or places like that. So, at the end of the day, I have 4 kids I have to put through school and whatnot. I'm not going to lose my job over being stubborn about a vaccine that really didn't have any effect on me at all.
No.
That didn't stunt any of my growth.
That was quick. It was quick turn.
Yeah. I've only had one of the shots now, and I had absolutely no effects after. And I was wondering.
Which one did you have?
Moderna.
Which one did you have? Which one?
Moderna.
Yeah.
Moderna. Yeah. Well, I think that my mom got Moderna. I think it was.
Right.
It was the older. Yeah. Listen, it's up to yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to take the second dose if you don't want to. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured into taking the second dose.
But you have to take it.
Somebody shouldn't be pressured. Somebody shouldn't be pressured into taking it. Do you know what I mean? If you don't want to take it, lots of people have made valid reasons for not taking it and valid reasons for taking it.
A lot of people mightn't take it because there's a risk, and even the scientists will say this about fertility.
Fertility, yes.
Yeah, or if they're pregnant and that.
Yeah.
But and that's up to them, and that'd be the only time I think to myself, if there was ever even a 0.1% chance that it would mess a pregnancy up or it would stop you from having a child if you really wanted a child for a man or a woman, that's the only time I would think to myself, well, I might hold it off and see what the crack is.
Yeah, I did know that. You have me thinking now.
Yeah.
No, I'm still gonna get the old jab.
But that's it. It's a 0.000% chance.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But yeah. We'll change the subject. What did we talk about before COVID? Philip Schofield coming out of the closet.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was the biggest news before COVID. It was Philip Schofield was gay. And I was like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I wasn't one bit surprised.
I remember we were doing, when that came out, it was like, it made...
It was all over the place. I was like, why are people so excited that Philip Schofield is gay? That's how sad the world was. Before this pandemic, that was the biggest news.
We were doing a gig in Portlaoise.
Was it Portlaoise, was it?
No, Portarlington.
Portarlington.
And it was a brilliant gig, but that was what the topics were.
Yeah, Phil Schofield, yeah. He's an agile old bastard. See him jumping around the carriage and stuff.
No.
Oh, he's fucking agile as fuck.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
It's fair play to him.
Yeah.
When he's doing gigs again?
We have 100% booked in Kildare. Judge Roy Beans on the 25th of September. We haven't even announced it yet because I want to announce the 4 of them at the same time, and I just want to nail the 4 of them down first. We put out a survey about a month ago. We said where would you like to see us play in the country? We're going to do 4 gigs before the end of the year, and we said the more counties that get back to us, that's where we do it. So the biggest county was Kildare, Cork, Galway, and Donegal.
So no Dublin.
Huh?
No
Dublin.
That's surprising. That's really surprising.
Dublin was about 6th or 7th.
But we'll see how these 4 goes.
We'll see how. Of course, Dublin will be as soon as we've nailed down. Dublin will be.
We'll see how these 4 gigs go. You know what I mean? First,
yeah.
We'll see. There might be another lockdown. You never know.
Hopefully not. Yeah. You set something up on the Patreon, didn't you? If you got on the Patreon, you could go to one of these gigs.
Yes, yeah. If you become a patron member, we've done a thing for if you become a patron member before August the 1st. That's
you're free
into the gigs, any gigs, every gig plus 1.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is after August the 1st, it's just admission for 1. If you become a patron, you get admission for 1. But if you become a patron before August the 1st, which is running out, you get admission for yourself and a friend.
You might give that a go, lads. To be honest, I've been looking forward to going to a gig. I seen that deal a while back, and I was like, I'll leave that to the last second. Yeah.
Yeah. So and we've merch planned as well.
Yeah, we're going to get a few T-shirts and
for Dead Hedgehogs and $3 less.
Willy Wormers and all sorts of stuff.
They're already
salmon-shaped dildos as well.
Dude, the fucking salmon memes you guys post are fucking hilarious. There's so many lads out there that look like salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's getting married. He's getting married on the 5th. Mikey.
Next week.
Yeah. He's getting married. So he is. So
There's
that should be good crack.
There's hope for us all. There's hope for us all.
Yes.
Mikey's cute enough.
Mikey's cute enough.
You might think Mikey's a green behind the ears or wet behind the ears, but Mikey knows the difference between a 20 and a 50.
That's for sure.
So he does.
Yeah. So, but how's your podcast going? How's it going, Pete?
It's been about the same as yourselves. It just, episode after episode, see what happens. Like, we're in a year now and we're just testing the waters always.
Yes.
We had a lot of success when we interviewed actors from a certain game that came out, Resident Evil. And, there's no games coming out at the moment, so I want to kind of branch off again back into whatever's on. So kind of sticking with whatever's relevant or who we can get. We might have a good old touch on someone now. I'll tell you after.
Brilliant, good stuff.
Yeah, Tom has been sorting out people to get on, and he's two massive names.
We need to put our heads down ourselves as well. Yeah, but the thing is, what?
It's a pain to get the guests.
It is hard to get them. Yeah,
but I think it's actually where's the pain?
We're hard to nail each other down. We're not as I don't know. Some say he'd be like Monday. He'd be like, I can't do Monday. And then he'd be like, can I do Tuesday? No, I can't do Tuesday. I'm bringing my auntie to fucking visit the fucking dentist. Do you know what I mean? It's
not go to the dentist.
Yeah, visit the dentist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's hard to nail people down, But hopefully now after you come back from Sweden, we'll
I'll do a couple of them out in Sweden as well. Yeah. So we'd like to go a bit international. I feel like we've done an awful lot of Irish guests. I wouldn't mind doing.
Yes,
doing a few like American or English guests now. So
I did wonder about that because I was watching. I love the guests you have on. I watched most of them and I'm like, all right, they're getting on the Irish ones. Fair play to them. There's only so many. Interesting people in Ireland that have any kind of.
Yes.
You'll find them. Like eventually, you're going for Paddy up the road.
Yes.
How was the crack and turf this month?
Paddy could be great crack, but he might not have much of a following.
That was my point. I had a point in my head there about 2 minutes ago, and it slipped. But you just have to remind me there. You can get
somebody down the street and
great crack, and the podcast might do unbelievable, and then you could get
somebody massive,
someone big, and it just took so long.
It's just you don't know the nature. It all depends on the conversation too, as well.
We had when Black Ops came out, the more recent one, the Call of Duty game. We got one of the actors on, and we were giving him an old chat, and we were asking about the role. He's like, "Oh, I just did it. I don't know." I was like, all right, come on now, just fucking say something here, buddy. I had another actor on before. He was like a child star, and I was like, oh, what was it like in that movie? I guess it was all right. Waiting for the next question.
You see, a lot of actors have scripts. You see, a lot of actors have scripts, and you see them on shows and stuff, and they don't know how to actually talk. But then comedians are different. Comedians won't stop talking.
Yeah, our biggest episodes with a comedian.
Yeah, you can't get the word in edgeways with comedians. You know what I mean?
Dude, and that's what you want. You want someone that you don't actually have to do much talking. You just have to direct the question, or direct the conversation flow.
Yeah, it's good crack. When it comes to the genre or whatever you'd call it for Dead Hedgehogs, what are you going for? For ourselves, it's a bit more interview. You guys are more free flowing.
I think it's just conversation, and people that we want to chat to. Do you know what I mean? You had the jockey on. What was his name?
David Mullins.
David Mullins. Really the guys loved that podcast. Yeah. So I didn't know nothing about horse racing, so I was kind of But I suppose I was the audience member that didn't know anything about horse racing.
But that's good too, because we were sort of explaining it to Pete as well. We were sort of also interviewing David, but we're also explaining to Pete at the same time
what was going on. So
the terminology of the game is.
So I took up the member of the audience that didn't know anything about horse racing. So then it was it wasn't just all horse racing jargon. They had to explain it to me, because then somebody could watch it that didn't know anything about horse racing. That was the good thing about it.
Plus, there was memories of my youth growing up, because both my grandparents and my father would have loved horse racing, betting, and there's always great stories in that industry, you know.
Yeah. But you love it. You have fond memories.
I love it. I love it probably because it reminds me of my grandparents. It reminds me of my youth watching them. It reminds me of the old. And I know I hate smoking. I absolutely hate smoking. But I used to love. I used to love. It was the only time I liked the smell of smoke was in the old bookie shops.
Yes.
But then again, I was a young fella and short, so I was sort of below the smoke. But
was that last week? Was it?
Yeah. But going in with my grandfather, like, and he'd be like, no, they don't let them see you. So I don't know if you had to be over 18. And you do, of course you do. You have to be over 18 to be in. Even now, you have to be over 18 to be in a betting shop. But remember, it's the west of Ireland, and them rules don't really apply down here. But still, you don't want to be a dick about it either.
Yes, of course.
So I went there. He'd go in to check the horse betting. Like, you'd have to go into the betting shop to see how the race went. There was no apps. There was no smartphones. So you know, and you'd be waiting for the bookmaker to write the first, second, third. You know, nice and slowly. So it was a whole build up to it, and if you had missed the race, you had to wait for the
next race.
And maybe sometimes the race mightn't have been shown on television, so the only person that would have known
was the bookie,
was the bookmaker themselves. Or you could check maybe CFAX on BBC if down the pub,
teletext
or whatever. Everything was slower, and you know, it was a little bit more of a romantic nature to it.
I suppose you reminiscent from your childhood. My memory of bookie shops is a lot different. Like, it was always kind of like these hooded figures smoking cigarettes that were on their fucking last legs, and drink their livers, and fucking betting all the fucking children's allowance, and smoking, and they've haggard faces. And then there was you in the middle of it.
There was them too, but my grandfather was just a really brilliant guy. Really, both of them were. But my grandfather on my mother's side, he was just a soft nature, and it's, you know, like
bit of crack.
Yeah. He liked to bet, but he was never going to. No one was ever going to go hungry one way or another.
Yes.
You know, that sort of way.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. Then, and it became a bit of camaraderie.
He always reminds me of. I said it before, David Jason in Darling Buds of May.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good stuff.
Last summer wine.
No, last summer wine. It's Darling Buds of May. Yeah.
And also, you know, a bit like Del Boy.
Okay.
On
Wheeling and Dealing.
Wheeling and Dealing. Yeah.
Tell the story about, I don't know if you've told it already, about you having the old computer and putting the bet on. Did you tell them that story before?
I didn't. I must tell that. I'm gonna, when we're doing the live shows next, and I'll tell it here. When we're doing the live shows next, I want to add a bit on to the end where we come out and tell a couple of different stories, and maybe change up the stories every time, because we are actually very good storytellers, and sometimes that's get lost in the madness of the live show.
Yeah, it's true.
So we do our live show and then come out then and do maybe a bit of storytelling among everyone, and like just having a pint with the audience. But anyway, there was this when I built the house I was only 21.
When you built the house,
the second house in Park Road, and it was a mansion of a house, and it was around the time of the dial-up internet.
Do you remember dial-up internet? You don't?
Not even a bit of it. I smiled there just because I have a friend, and his internet's so bad. Like, he lives in the ass end of nowhere, and he's like, he showed me before like a chart of what dial-up speed used to be, and there he was, and he was like way at the very bottom of it, like currently. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, dial-up is so bad. Like, it'd be like you'd be looking at something.
You might have to leave something overnight to load.
And the picture would be going like this. You know when your internet goes slow and the picture's just going bits. And we had a joke in the Hardybucks where you're watching porn and dial-up, and you're going bits, and then she has a willy. That was one of the jokes. But I'll just tell your story.
The dial-up was cook, and it could break in and break out, but I got it into the house, and it was the only thing that was the best thing going at the time. But I used to love betting, and it was Sunday morning, or no, it could have been Saturday morning. But anyway, whichever morning it was, I was out the night before, and I was hungover at the time. But I loved my betting, so I had the television and the computer all. It was like a games room upstairs, and I went up, bitting hungover, probably had an orange juice with me at the time or something. And I go to put on my bets, and I'm looking forward to this. I used to love putting on bets. So I'm looking at the race, and I'm looking at the form, and I pick out a horse, and it's about 7 to 1 or 15 to 2 or something like that. So I stick on 10 or 20 euro on this horse, and that's fantastic. So I put the bet on anyway, and I'm watching the race, and my horse literally first of all, it takes ages for me to put the bet on because the internet is so fucking slow. But remember that I picked the horse out maybe 5 or 6 minutes before the race, and then I'm trying to put the bet on, but it's not going through because the internet is so slow. But eventually it said it accepted the bet, and I thought, great. So I'm watching the race anyway, and my horse literally wins by a country mile. Now that's a great start to the day. Basically, you're not going to lose any money at that. You're 150 euro up. You can take back out your 20 euro, then you have 150 euro to play with. Whether you make any more, that's up to you. If you lose it, it wasn't yours to start off with. That was my attitude.
That was your thinking, yeah.
That was always my thinking. I'd go in with £20 or 50 euro, whatever, if I had it, and if it was gone, then I walked out.
Yes.
But anyway, so that's right. I was like, brilliant start to the day. Go to the computer. Now I'm already frustrated as well with the computer because it's taken me 5 or 6 minutes to put this bet on. So I turned to the computer, and next thing, all I could see on the screen was betting history error, and I'm like, what? So then I look at it again, and then I check my account, and just the 20 euro is still in my account. Nothing has gone through.
I would have won 150 quid.
I would have got 100. I should have been 170 back. So I'm fuming at this stage. So I'm like, fucking hell. So I actually go and I pick out another couple of horses, and the computer is slow. Two or three of them win as well. And out of the maybe 4 or 5, I went back, and I couldn't get the bets through. And I'm really getting frustrated with the computer at this stage. And maybe 1 or 2 of them had lost as well. But
you're wearing a pair of jocks.
I'm wearing a pair of jocks. All I'm wearing is a pair of jocks. And I'm really hot at this stage as well because I'm boiled up, and I get really hot when I'm angry. So then I pick out this. I give it a couple of minutes, and I pick out this. Next thing, it was another 7 to 1 shot, another 15 to 2 shot, or something like that. And I said, right, I've missed out so much. I'm getting so pissed off. So I thought to myself, I'm going to put 50 euro on this one, and if it wins, it wins, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So I deposit the whole works, pick out the horse race like way in advance,
like an hour in advance,
so that I cannot possibly miss this one. So I'm here betting away, and it's saying it's bet history or bit history, but then eventually it accepts it on the screen. So I thought, great. So I'm watching eventually it got to the race anyway. I'm watching the race as it going. My horse wins. It was just like a carbon copy of the first race that I thought I had backed. My horse wins by a country mile.
What is a country mile?
I don't know. It's like a longer than a city mile.
City mile, is it?
So then I turn to the computer again. I go back to the computer, and next thing there's this big thing up, betting history error. So it had returned the bet. And I literally lost it. I had a brand new computer.
You pulled the jocks out for
no, that was after the fact. I had this like a computer desk with the leads running through it, and it came out this little hole for the leads to come out. So that the keyboard and the screen was them leads were sort of going in through this hole just to make them neat.
Yeah. So they're not seen.
That they're not seen. So the keyboard is there, the screen is there, the computer itself is there, and I just lose it. I grab the keyboard and I literally just wrench it. I wrench it, but I also grab the lead of the screen as well, and I literally pull the fucking thing, the leads through the hole to the point where I have the computer backed up where that was plugged in.
Did you break the monitor? You must have broke the monitor.
No, the only thing that survived was the actual monitor. But I have it pulled, and I'm pulling it so hard that the table is moving. It gets caught on the couch, and I pull it through until the wires snap. And then when the keyboard finally got free and I had it in my hand, I just
smashed it over your knee.
I smashed it over my knee, and we're right beside it's one big massive games room, but there's a stairs running up the middle of it. So all the keys of the keyboard go like literally just rain down the stairs, and that's grand. And I'm still not satisfied at that. And the only other thing I could smash or rip was my boxers. So I literally get the little slit, the slit in the boxes. I get my hands into it, and I just literally I ripped them asunder, and I ripped them clean off myself, and I just fire it, and at the computer, and it lands on the screen, so it's sort of over the screen, and just as that happens, then the doorbell goes. So I'm upstairs, and I'm having a stitch on me now. And the stairs runs right down the middle of the house, and it goes literally goes straight into where the door is.
Yeah.
And on the two side, the door itself had obscure glass, but there was two side panels that had clear glass. So I was able to see that with my uncle Martin, who's only a couple of years older than me, and more a friend than an uncle. But and I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. So I opened the door, and I'm stood there, bollock naked, and he goes, I said, what the fuck? He said, I just came in to use your computer. I said, it's upstairs, fire ahead. So I'm walking down the hallway behind the stairs, and let him go up the stairs. And all I could hear on the way up was him walking on the keys of the keyboard. And then when he said he could mumble them to himself, and then he gets to the top, and all he can see is the screen with my boxers fucking off it. Broken keyboard, broken computer itself, and he just goes, "What the fuck?" And that was so
crazy.
It goes on down to the pub, then at that stage.
Down to the pub, and then go to the bookies.
And then into the bookies, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I should have done the first.
Crazy.
Have you even owned a computer ever since?
I have. I wouldn't mind, but the troubles I went to get that computer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, torture. You used to be the same booking flights back in the day as well, dial up.
Yeah,
booking flights.
If you don't book it in a certain time, it starts again.
Yeah, you start again. You run out of time, and it's horrible. It's horrible. Jesus.
That's fucking rough. I'm serious. That's so fucking rough. Just the computer mold.
Yeah, and that same computer, I wouldn't mind. I have more stories with that computer.
Yes, you were telling me that too.
That computer, I went up to Curry's in Galway to buy it, and I landed down with it, and it wouldn't work for weeks. And I was every so often I'd go at it, but I knew nothing about computers. And then eventually I asked one of my friends to have a look at it. So he has a look at it, and he couldn't figure out what it was. So I said, damn it, I'm going to bring it up to Curry's again. Now, at the time, for some reason, going up to Galway now wouldn't bother me in the slightest. I'd go like that. I'm even half tempted if I can get finished later on early enough to go up and try and book the second gig. But back then it was a bigger deal. The roads were worse.
The roads were worse, yeah.
And getting into the city was harder. But so eventually I went back to Curry's, and I didn't even have to ask what the problem was with the computer, because when I went to the actual same computer that I bought, I realized that they hadn't given me the power cable. There was no power cable to it.
And it was cheaper, was it? You said it was cheaper.
And that was another thing. It was fucking half price. I was fuming.
Yeah.
So I explained what I should have done, but I wasn't cute back then. And money was plentiful at the time. What I should have done was return the fucking thing and then go in and buy it again.
Yes.
But,
true. You live and learn.
You live and learn. Yeah.
Fucking hell. I'm a big computer guy, and that just fucking hurts to hear.
Yeah.
Both those stories just hurt to hear.
Yeah. But it wasn't €100 off. It wasn't €200 off. It was fucking half price. And it was about 10 days later.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but that always happens. You always see that when you get a deal, and then there's always something cheaper. Do you know what I mean? It's annoying.
Yeah, that's fucking rough. So what was it like getting your first phone? What happened then?
I
smashed a few phones against the wall. Yeah.
I remember phones then was a different thing. I held off on the smartphone for ages.
So did I.
Ages and ages. And then when I got one, then it was the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. Well, you should go to phone addiction.
I should. Yeah. But I remember once, and I should be getting my passport renewed now. But I remember once, first time I was ever flying out as well. I had a mobile phone, and I rang to see my passport. I had ordered 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and it wasn't coming.
Yes.
So it was meant to come in the post. Before I went to flying, obviously, but it was like 2 days before I was meant to go to France, and still hadn't came. I remember when I made the phone call to find out whether it had came in the post or not. I grabbed the phone, and it's all self-destructive.
Of course.
I fired it.
You couldn't ring anybody.
Yeah, I couldn't ring anyone then. I fired it as far as I could, and it landed in a big fucking puddle of water.
I have a story about phones. You like this story? About phones? I used to have like 2 or 3 phones, but the battery worked on one for a little while. The battery was so bad, and the SIM card worked on another one, but it wouldn't work on another one. So I had to take like one battery out of the other one and put it in, and then when that one died, I had to take the SIM out of another one, put that one in. And I was training for this handball match before. I was playing this big master traveller, Jimmy Mahan, and he was class at handball.
Yeah.
And we're playing this local tournament. It was named after Paddy Bolingbroke, the fella, this famous handballer. And I was in the final against this guy, and I went to Galway, and the only handball alley I could get into was this closed outdoor handball alley beside the school. So I had to jump the wall and go down. But I used to always play with my friends. They'd be in there playing, so you'd give you a legger back up. Then one time the final was coming up. I got into the final, luckily enough, and I jumped down the wall. I was with nobody. The wall is massive, like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, I'll get back up, no problem at all. I'll get back up. And I was playing for a few hours, and then I was practicing my shots, and then I was like, geez, I better get out. It's starting to get dark now. Geez, I better get out of this handball alley.
Yeah.
And then I went to run, and this was before parkour videos or anything. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not the smallest, and I'm not the biggest, but I'm not that tall either. I'm tall enough, but and there was this little spike at the top of the handball alley, and I was trying to grab it, and I couldn't grab it. I was like about 4 foot short. I couldn't grab it. So then I was putting my phone together, and the one battery was dying, and another battery had to strategically position it so the SIM would work. And I was ringing my buddy. I was like, I'm stuck in the handball alley. And it went beep, 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 beep. And I was like, fuck it, what'll I do? So then I fucking took my pants off. I had a spare pair of pants. I was wearing shorts. I took my pants off, and I kind of tied them together. Took my jacket off, tied it together, and I took my shoe off, tied it together. And then I was like throwing it up, and I was short. I was kept being short. I was trying to hook it over the little pole. Mm-hmm. And then I was like throwing it up, and then I was like, fuck, I have to take off the jocks. Get that extra bit of lint. Pardon the pun. An extra bit of lint. Sorry, a lot of Willie fucking chat here. Yeah, but I had to take the extra, just to get that extra bit of lint, to get a torque on it. So I threw it up over, and I caught it. And then I was climbing up like this, climbing up. And I was up to the top, and I was about to grab, and then somebody showed up, the guy, Stephen Lennon, the guy that I was ringing, to try and get me out. And he looked, he goes, what the fuck are you doing? And he gave me a hand up, and then I fucking got my clothes and put my jocks back on. But I won the final. I won the final.
That's what matters. Fucking hell.
It was worth it. Yeah.
It's rough. That's so fucking rough.
It is rough. The situations you get yourself into, crazy.
Yeah, I thought I lived in like a dodgy place, and then there's you fucking stuck in a handball pit.
You know, those outdoor handball alleys, they're always scary. It's where somebody had a fight or somebody got shifted. Do you know what I mean? Both. Yeah.
There you go.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
How the fuck did we get here, lads?
I don't know how we got here. But your podcast is going well. Who do you have on next?
Steve O'Timity.
That you could tell us. Who do you have on next?
Yeah, Steve O'Timity. I was thinking,
who
could I say?
Brilliant.
It'll be his third appearance on the show, so he's a good lad.
Great.
He's a good lad.
He's a good lad.
People give him a lot of shit, but he's such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Yes.
We had him on. No, we didn't have him. We did a video with him a few years.
We've done a couple of videos with him. Yeah, we've done a video for him as well. So.
Yeah, so he's a good Irish kid. So he is.
Yeah,
He does an awful lot for charity as well.
He does.
Yeah. That whole thing he's doing at the moment, even had McGregor and Tyson Fury give it an old touch. So.
Oh, did he as well?
Yeah.
Oh, did they? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I know McGregor is. Will McGregor come down? I wonder.
I doubt it. He's partying. Coach Kavanagh was saying that he'd be down for McGregor fighting Steve-O instead of your man Paddy Barnes. But nothing from McGregor on that one.
Oh, King is trying to fight. What's going on?
Steve is going fighting Paddy Barnes in wheelchair boxing.
Oh, wow.
But also,
charity,
cool.
Also, McGregor's meant to fight California.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's fair play. Fair play, yeah.
But I just I'd love to see him down Galway, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
You never know. Might do.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
What
do you think of that leg break from McGregor?
It was tight. Like they're saying, it was kind of broke beforehand. People are saying that he was went into the fight broke because it broke. It seemed to break off
easy. Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully he comes back. If he comes back, it'll be the best comeback in the whole of sport. And I hope he does come back because he. Well, if he doesn't, nobody can expect him to come back. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a hard break. You know.
I know. I have a love-hate relationship. Not that it matters a fuck to McGregor what I think of him, but
yeah.
I don't know. Being an Irish person, I will always be shouting for him.
Yeah.
And I don't get the people that keep running him down. Yeah, he's a loudmouth, but that's how I got him there in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, Chris, the guy in our podcast, he made a great thing one time. People are saying, cage fighters should be role models.
Yeah.
But no, they shouldn't. They're in a cage trying to kill somebody.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be role models.
Yeah.
They should be the opposite of role models. They're like, your child should look up to this man that's trying to kill another man in a cage. No.
Yeah.
When did they make that a thing? Do you know what I mean? But listen, I'd admire from him. He did amazing stuff for MMA and country. And if he comes back, more power to him. Do you know what I mean? More power to him. But it'd be hard to come back.
I don't agree with some of the things he says and the way he goes about it.
Yeah, I have
to admire what he does.
I don't heed that. I just watch his fights. You know what I mean? But hopefully he comes back.
He said something dodgy there. I was sent it earlier. I don't know how real it is. He's Khabib, the guy about him.
Yes.
So Khabib puts up something saying congratulations, Dustin. Good always defeats evil. Oh. So McGregor says, okay, so COVID is good and fodder is evil because COVID killed Khabib's dad.
Oh.
Saying good killed evil.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was such a fucking dodgy thing. I only seen that today.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's where he lets himself down.
That's when you're it's hard to be your fan buddy.
Yeah, that's tough. But then again, maybe he took it personally. Your man saying that Conor is evil, do you know what I mean? But he took that first. But he didn't bring his. Yeah. Who knows? That's.
I don't like that side of things, and it's hard to make any case for that.
Yeah, that's just wrong. Yeah. That's just
ended up having a chat with John Anik, one of the lads who was commentating that night, and he says that he's a lot better than we think he is, McGregor, but for him the best fight now should be against Nate Diaz, rather than keep going and it's going to be with Poirier until he wins. Basically, they're going to keep doing that, or we'll get bored of that. So it's better to put him against Nate Diaz for the crack. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, or if he fought Tony Ferguson or somebody, there'd be a good fight too. Do you know what I mean?
Well, how will he recover from that? He's banned out of it anyway for 6 months.
Longer, is it? Is it a year?
No, 6 months.
Oh, is it?
He's a bit of an advantage now. His shin bone's made of titanium. So good luck breaking it again.
Yeah, but the other bone behind it could break.
No, he said that the two of them got.
The two of them. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
But he only broke one bone, did he? Or did he break the two of them?
Well, with the way it broke, it was both of them. He said on his Instagram, it was both of them.
Oh, it was both of them. Okay, the tibia and the fibia, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, then again, I don't know if that's an advantage because something else could break. Do you know what I mean? The titanium is attached to bone,
Titanium head kick, you're gone.
In fairness. Yeah. They could change his name to Titanium Head Kick.
There you go.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of the UFC and all that, what was it like talking to Aisling Daly?
Oh, it was brilliant. She was lovely.
Yeah.
She was lovely. Yeah, she was lovely. And very humble and down to earth and pure sound. Yeah.
She had nothing but good to say about Conor, actually.
Yeah. And she said, what did she say that was shocking? She said not about Conor, but she was saying the UFC, she did a lot she had some sort of bleeding the brain.
Bleeding the brain.
She
was doing more for
the safety of fighters. She
especially
said,
in women.
Especially women. She said that she knows female fighters that went into the ring and they found out afterwards that they were pregnant. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. So she was going along the lines of trying to promote.
That's what her direction is going in that, because she's not allowed to fight anymore.
Yeah.
And she was devastated about it.
Yeah.
But she had nothing but good things to say about Conor. But then we had Tom Egan on, and he wasn't as he didn't
say anything bad, but he was
but definitely not while recording anyway.
Yeah, he was kind of like on the fence. He was on the fence, but who knows what history they have.
There seemed to be a little bit of history between Tom and Conor.
But he was an interesting guy as well. If you got him on,
actually, you should get Tom on.
Tom was interesting. Tom was an interesting guy to get on.
What's his second name again?
Tom Egan. He was the first
Irish UFC fighter.
Yeah, first Irish UFC fighter. But he's probably a big Trump man. But once you get him to stop talking about Trump, it's actually pretty interesting.
The thing is, you know how most times we have a little bit of a chat before the podcast or whatever. But the thing about it, we were like 40 minutes into the conversation before we even started recording.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant conversation, but now we didn't agree with everything that he said. I agreed with some of the things he said. You didn't agree with many of the things he said. The thing is, we were able to debate.
We were able to debate and have a healthy debate. He was pro-Trump and we were like anti-Trump. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like sometimes you don't want to go down that avenue. You want to have a conversation about something else that's not politics.
Politics is one of the most fucking boring topics you could talk about.
100%.
But somehow we get there every time.
I think it's just so prevalent now.
But it's an Irish thing as well. Politics and the weather.
Yeah. It's kind of talking around stuff.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm fair play to you for taking it on in your podcast, but I've fucking avoided it any chance I've gotten.
The politics, man, but
I'm too young and uninformed to say anything like.
Yeah. Well, all you can do is your opinion. You know what I mean? All you can say is your opinion. You know what I mean? And even you saying I'm young and uninformed, and then state your opinion. Do you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean. That's you're entitled to it.
So when it comes to the politics side of your podcast, like, how far does that go? Like, would you want to talk to upper lads in Irish politics? Would you like to talk to Jerry Adams?
I definitely give them a racket.
Yeah,
I definitely would. Yeah, and
buy them a few drinks first.
And then I might get them on the podcast.
I know the guys are very political. Chris and Steve, they know a lot about politics. I don't know that much about politics. But I think they should teach politics in school a bit better and have it so that people understand it. I think they deliberately make it confusing so the regular man doesn't understand it and he's bored shitless, so they can pass laws that were like, fuck, we're paying this much in tax. You know what I mean? I think that's deliberate. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of cronyism in it. So if they taught it in school, I think in Denmark they teach it in schools at a young age, so people know what they're voting for. Half the fuckers here, we don't know what we're voting for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got some weird stuff in Ireland going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You ever see the ads for the National Party? They always freak me out, those lads.
I haven't seen the ads. There's no ads on TV. Is there? There's like leaflets. Is there leaflets going around?
They post like their YouTube ads.
Oh, okay. They're very, very kind of racist and anti-Semitic, aren't they? As far as I know.
They want us out of the EU.
Yes.
They want just foreign people out of Ireland. They like kind of want an isolationist Ireland.
Yeah, it's a bit contradictory. That is a bit contradictory because we've
nation of
people. We've been to every country in the world. Do you know what I mean? And we've settled in every country in the world, so we can't expect.
Of course not.
It's a bit. You know what I mean? It's like going. You can come to my house, but I can't come to your house.
Yeah. It's that silly.
You can come to my house and I'll make you sandwiches. But don't be fucking bring your own sandwiches if you come to my house.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. You know? Yeah. Fuck them assholes. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But
no time.
And I wouldn't be a fan of Europe myself, but fuck them assholes. You know what I mean? There's good things about Europe as well. The freedom of travel and everything. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? You know.
Well, until COVID, it was a thing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And you know, we could all travel to some before COVID, we could travel to France. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that hard. Or Italy or Spain.
Anywhere, or even the monetary system.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I do think that let be under no illusion that we owe Europe billions or anything. That we've paid our way.
100%. Yeah, look at the fish stocks and oil and gas.
But I do think we're better off, being united as a nation, as a superpower.
What do you mean as Europe? Europe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The only thing is that I think the argument for that United Party is that there's like civil servants making rules about Ireland in Brussels that aren't actually elected officials. Do you know what I mean? Okay. There's judges. There's judges in Brussels just going, oh, that rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no answer that's going to fix it for everyone. I mean, you're not. It's just the way society is, and there shouldn't be either, because if we all got complacent either, there'd be no one pushing for better, for change. So
yeah. And it's good that there's a distant voice. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We can't all agree. Do you know what I mean? It's good that there's a distant voice questioning the government. That's why it's a good thing. You know.
Yeah.
But they do sound like wankers, the National Party. Sorry. No.
Yeah. No, I've never been a fan of them. Just thought I'd go for the extreme.
Yeah.
So, who would you want to talk to?
We talk to everyone. I'd love to talk to Mary Lou.
I'd love to do Mary Lou.
Yeah.
And I'd love to get her on a podcast as well. No, actually, I have a thing for Mary Lou, but
no, she seems sound as well. Who else should you talk to?
We talked to Radker.
Radker,
I talk to anyone.
Yeah,
Mick Wallace. I'd give it no chat to Mick Wallace. Luke Flanagan.
Yeah, she'd love to get Ming. Yeah, Ming would be good, actually. We're supposed to meet up with Ming during one of the runs, but between us running slow and him having to beat someplace, didn't work out.
I definitely, actually, you know what? I should approach him, and he was on the list to.
Yeah, it'd be great. We get to talk to him, you know. But it's just all walks of life. We're open. If there's anybody listening to the podcast, we're open to talk to anybody from all walks of life. Like, we'll get the Flat Earther on. We'll listen to him.
Yeah.
We'll get, we had a model on.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Leanne Fairley on. We'd a former Green member of Saoirse McHugh on. We talk to anyone. Do you know what I mean? And we'll talk to them, and we'll
go check it out. Dead Hedgehogs on YouTube.
There you go.
Exactly.
The big ad behind the lads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's behind us there. Oh, yeah. Well spotted. That was strategically placed.
It wasn't actually.
Well, what's the story with the logo? Who made that one?
That was actually you came up with the idea. We were driving someplace.
We were thinking for ages. Like we wanted to go sort of a name that didn't have bucks in it.
Yeah.
And we've been like every gig we used to go to, we'd have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And we were like, we have to think of something. So we were driving down to Ballina, and we just happened to see a dead hedgehog on the side of the road, and I just go, dead hedgehogs.
And it was grand, yeah. That was it. I wish there was I wish there was more of a poetic, cerebral.
Sort of poetic.
Cerebral way, like your grandfather was nearly shot. Your hedgehog. Your grandfather was hedgehog.
He was half hedgehog.
On the waist down.
With our one, we fucking what did we do? I said one day I wanted to do a podcast, and the same day we recorded it, and then the next day I wanted to release it, and we're like, fuck, we don't even have a name for it yet.
Brilliant.
And we sat around sitting there for the guts of nearly 5 hours trying to think of a logo and a name. Had the logo first, and the name was just eating me alive, because there's this newspaper in Offaly called the Awfully Express. I didn't want that as the name. It just wouldn't get out of my head. Yes, and I was like, Awfully. And eventually one of the lads is like, Awfully Irish. And boom, that's the name.
It's a brilliant name for podcast. It's a brilliant name for podcast. You can remember it straight away. And the fact that your man said Awfully Angry Podcast, it's You could do a spin-off. You could do a spin-off. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Of course you could.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for it. Yeah, I've been looking at like a lot of your fucking TikTok stuff and so on, and this is speaking of good content. Like, that's fucking, it's good stuff. The TikToks, you used to be sitting in the car and you'd be ranting, but every time it just fucking solid, dead on. I say that would do millions for your comedy, would it?
What's that?
I say it would do a lot for your comedy.
Oh, 100%, and I can't wait to transfer that onto the stage as well. But the thing about it is first and foremost, it's meant to be funny. Secondly, there might be a message in it, but definitely the first part of it was funny. It was satirical, and yes, it had a message. But a lot of people classed onto it and made the message the message that they wanted.
Yes, because there was far right people in America using it.
Oh, that's right.
There
was some lad that had everyone was sending it to me. I can't even remember the man's name now, but he has like over 1 million followers on YouTube, and he was using my clips in the middle of his podcast.
Yeah.
So I must actually get that. Even Owen texted me that people were sending it to him.
Yes.
On his page.
Saying that, but then you're associated with somebody that's far right, which is you don't want that either. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, anyhow, such is life, man. Such is life. You end up with whoever. You no control of that there.
Yeah. But basically, like what we want to do on the page is create a bit of crack, create a bit of content, do the live shows, do charity events whenever we can, and eventually, make some money from it as well for ourselves.
Yes.
We do appearances. We've done a couple of appearances and they've gone well. It's nice to make something. We're not making a living from it, but who knows? In a few years.
And it's a creative itch that we're scratching.
Yeah, creative itch that we're scratching.
You know what I mean? And hopefully down the line we'll do long form, maybe videos or
plus,
series.
I plan on using it for when I become teacher.
Yeah, he's going to go into politics eventually. He's going to go into politics. Yeah, Taunton. Go to Taunton.
Either.
You could crack. It'd be everything to be closed except the pubs.
That's not a bad idea.
You could run on that.
There you go. Yeah. What do you think of the passes that have to go into the pub?
The which?
You have to get
I'm not like I've done videos. I've done videos against them and.
What's this? Sorry, I missed the question.
Passes on getting into the pubs.
You need a pass to get into the pub, is it?
I don't agree with them at all.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I don't agree with them at all. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to get, I'd rather have it than be looking for it.
But somebody made a good argument that a lot of people that are working in the pubs won't be back.
That's right. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's contradictory. Do you know what I mean?
You can go into work and then like forget your jacket and you can't go back in to get your jacket without COVID pass kind of stuff,
Yes.
I know, obviously be allowed back in, but that's like kind of logic the government's going by.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like if people weren't dying or sick, you could make an awful lot more jokes from COVID. You know what I mean? And the response to COVID. You know what I mean? It's just been like you can go up to a hotel and go into the hotel, have 50 pints, start kissing and shifting anybody you want. And then come back down to Mayo, and he's not allowed to go to his local pub. But that's surely not going to prevent the disease from spreading. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's going to spread it even more.
And really and truly, if they didn't want, there was another topic. If they wanted to stop the spread of COVID, they should have maybe started with the younger people first. In fact, because they're the ones that were spreading.
Yeah, that's very true. But then I suppose they were saying the vulnerable people. You know what I mean?
I know. But look, my thing was always protect the vulnerable, of course.
Yeah.
But let
Who knows? Who knows?
Get on with their own lives.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it's handy enough now because people 18 and up completely can now get it. So handy enough.
Yeah.
I've got my first one. Looking to get the second. Girlfriend's after getting the second now, so
good
handy
stuff.
Enough. Yeah.
Did she get the vaccine?
Yeah, she's after getting the. You're a funny lad. You're a funny lad. You should go into comedy.
He didn't like that.
Yeah. I wasn't even. Give it up. Yeah.
We've talked enough. You should have known that.
That's a running gag there. I'm slagging him. He's slagging me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you caught me off guard now.
Listen, dude. I'm running out. Yeah, I have to go here. I'm getting text here, as I can see from work and that. So I better.
We better go, but we'll jump on again. We'll definitely jump on the podcast again. Thanks for having us on.
Of course, but before you set off, lads, if people want to check out Dead Hedgehogs and the whole shebang, where can they find you?
Yeah, YouTube, Dead Hedgehogs. And remember that thing about if you become a patron for $5 a month, you'll get free internet.
$3 left. $3 left. Instagram.
We're an umbrella of an umbrella.
Yeah.
So
$3 left is all the comedy, and then if you want some serious chat, it's on the Dead Hedgehogs. But there's a bit of comedy there as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
On Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp.
There you go.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. So if you want to check them out, you know where to find them. Take it handy. Good luck and bye-bye.